Good day, everyone. I have the privilege of collaborating with one of my colleagues in ministry here at the headquarters of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Dean Street, St. Augustine. And we are doing a piece entitled The Power of the Printed Page in Missions. And as we go, I just want to ask this person that I would have known for a couple of years. However, there's something that I learned about her and her family that I'd want to share with all of us. So can you say to those who are viewing, ma'am, who you are?
I am Victoria Maria Di Cotto, formerly Raguba. And who is Sister Victoria? Simply a young girl that's her first 10 years of her life grew up with grandparents in a Catholic background and accepted the Lord at the age of 14 and have been married now, became from Raguba to Di Cotto. This year, 44 years. Have one daughter and a beautiful grandson.
And of course, she needs to tell you that she's also the health director of the South Caribbean Conference. That being said, Sister Vicky, you're fondly called Sister Vicky. Mm-hmm. What has impacted your life, influencing you to be an outstanding mission-driven leader within the cause of God today?
It all started from, as a child, the influence of my parents. Mm-hmm. The fact that we came to the Lord after having the entire family attending a crusade one night, technically the last night. And coming out of that, we grew as we came to the Lord. And from there, always seeing the passion and the togetherness in ministry and the driven way that my parents carried on God's work influenced my life in a whole new way.
What is strange, you said that mm-hmm. your dad, mm-hmm. your family mm-hmm. attended this evangelistic campaign mm-hmm. For one night.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, was it a Wednesday night?
Yes.
The last Wednesday night of the campaign?
It was the last Wednesday night of a crusade by Pastor Stephen Purcell in the grandstand in Port of Spain.
Oh, and at this time, what was your dad's career and religious background?
Okay, so my dad was an electrical engineer at TNTech. And it was because he was working in England first as an engineer. That's how I ended up with my grandparents, my first 10 years. Came to Trinidad as a call to work in TNTech. And while working there, he was invited to this crusade by one of his co-workers who was a Seventh-day Adventist. It was a 6-week crusade. And the last week of the crusade, the gentleman reminded my father that he had invited him and he had never attended. So my father came home and told my mother that we need to go to this program because he promised the man we have to go.
Yes, and mm-hmm. so when you got there mm-hmm. and Pastor Purcell mm-hmm. Made the call, mm-hmm. It was discovered after he visited your home mm-hmm. that you all were ready. What was it that prepared you and your family mm-hmm. to be ready to make that decision after just attending one night of the campaign?
The influence of that Seventh-day Adventist worker, he used to sell books to my father. So my dad had been accustomed purchasing Seventh-day Adventist books, Steps to Christ, Ministry of Healing, Health and Happiness, Desire of Ages, because he was an avid reader. So in reading, his mind was being prepared without us even knowing, even though we didn't look at it as it was Seventh-day Adventist books he was reading. He was a reader, the guy was selling books, and he bought and was reading.
Wow, so he was an engineer.
Yes.
Coming from a Catholic background. Yes. Never attended the Adventist church,
no.
But he was reading.
Yes.
What were the books that he was reading?
Specifically, Desire of Ages, Steps to Christ, Health and Happiness. And even the Adventist home he bought because of discussion with the guy about principles in homes.
Yes, and so as we bring this to a close, what advice do you have for those who are looking as they think about missions regarding the power of the printed page, the power of literature, truth-filled literature?
Every opportunity we get to spread the literature, whether it's a priority, a gift to give someone, giving Morning Watch as gifts, never underestimate the power of the printed page. You don't know the far-reaching effects it would have on families years to come.
All right, so you've heard it. So Sister Victoria Decoto, her family was impacted positively. This individual was sharing literature, and so we want to just give God all the praise and give him all the glory for that individual. Understand that the printed page, truth-filled literature, has an integral part, a critical part in transforming the lives of others. And so there are others of you, I believe, who have similar stories. So you can probably call my number. I'm Pastor Lyndon Lewis, the new publishing director of the South Caribbean Conference. You can call my number at 787-8412 and share with us those stories. Brother Thompson, for instance, in Rio Claro, he shared with me that story. Brother Davis from Evergreen, you shared with me your story. God's blessings be with you in Jesus' name. Thank you.